Today in Roadcraft, we're on the new DLC map, Washout. We're just getting started, and one thing's for sure, on these new DLC maps, they don't pull any punches. You gotta figure stuff out right from the start. Let's go. So we just started on Washout, and well, I haven't played it at all, but all I've seen is that it starts you off here, and we've got a obviously a bridge we can't cross, so we need to get to the other side. Yeah, so just started in a Washout. I fired this up yesterday when it came out to make the video showing the features of Rebuild Expansion, right? But I couldn't exactly show the map because there was I had to show the other features like the cars and the options and things like that. And like I said, you know, I'm gonna have to play the map to figure out what's on here. So how do we get across? Well, let's check out down here. I want to get our, yeah, we have to get our, oh, look at this. There's like a little road here. Have to get our base set up and have access to our vehicles. All right, I think we can cross here. I think it looks that way. Let's see what we got here. Well, this is easily passable here. I mentioned in the video yesterday that people were going to be pissed that you can't change the difficulty on existing games. So I was just thinking about that. I was just thinking, yeah, I don't have the gearbox, I don't have the fuel usage or anything. You know, options which I maybe would turn on. Yeah, but that's because this is my main game here. Well, I was mid-sentence there, and I lost my concentration and rolled into the water and lost the truck. All right, I got to concentrate. Yeah, so anyway, I was just talking about, yeah, I can't change. I was just thinking about the new options, and I would like to try that stuff. I'll have to start a new save to do that. And here's the thing. So you got to start a new save as it is now. I'm thinking they might change that, but as it is now, you got to start a new save to change those options. But from what I've seen, because I played a little bit on Contamination, one of the, you know, the other new map, I played a little bit on it, and it's pretty rough. Like, you need good equipment on there. So here's the crux that I see. If I start a new game to use some of the new difficulty sliders, then how do I have, then I don't have capable equipment to run the new maps. I think it's kind of silly. Oh, we can get across over there. Yeah, if we're very, very careful. These pipes here, might want to flip the truck, so let's keep the truck on this side of them. Don't hit those pipes. And can we drive over this tree? Maybe. Let me see if I can winch off this. Probably not. Probably just a bunch of trees that... Oh, there we go. Yep. All right, well, we can cross right here, it looks like. Oh, nice. It's a road. Where's that road go? Okay. Well, we'll just follow it this way. All right, here we got us some pavement, and surely we'll have our base up ahead here. Oh, is this bridge completed? Please tell me it's not another incomplete bridge. Look at that. It's a complete bridge. Oh, wow. Wow. Big bridge. Oh, that's cool. What a view. There's a bunch of stuff down there. And anyway, here's our base. You know, it's too bad. So I guess we don't have Kelly. Yeah, we don't have Kelly. That's really too bad. I've heard a few people remarked on that. I'm going to have to agree. It's a shame she's not here. And not even for like, I know it, like at the end of the game, there was like, you know, there was like a little bit of story. Not even for that, but with just any person's voice, you know, you're not alone in this entirely, you know, without just that one voice, it feels kind of like in a post-apocalyptic land. You know, there's like no people. Anyway, that's a shame. I mean, look, what I'm saying is they could have got a different chick, right? They didn't have to even be her. Could have been anything. Yeah, that is weird. Yeah, I just realized I probably have objectives and I don't have her here to tell me what they are. It's crazy. That is crazy. That made a huge difference. I never thought about that. Huge difference. So, let's see. Find a way across the dam. All right, well, we're going to have access to our vehicles now. Speaking of that, there's some new vehicles. We have some money. Let's check the shop out. Okay, what's most important that we buy? Of all the new vehicles, the new scout vehicle, the Mutt, which I really like a lot. I played at some on the test server. It is not here. Okay. Well, because the thing is, I was going to ask, it's a rusty scout vehicle. You don't buy rusty vehicles, right? So I guess we have to find it wherever it is. I played it on the test server, but on the test server, you just start with it automatically. Right. So if we want to try out the new vehicles, I'd say the most prudent, the most useful is going to be the bridge layer. We've got the money for the good bridge layer, the Washout. I say, so the new vehicles, we have the 2 bridge layers, the Mule T1 Trailblazer, the Armored Thunder Expedition, the fuel truck, the scout vehicle. Is there another one I'm forgetting? I want to make sure that before I spend my money on this, there's not a more important one I should be buying. I don't think so. So I think we should buy this. Yeah. I think we should buy this guy here. What do we... okay, clear a way across the dam and build a road across it, it looks like. So let's go ahead and open... Let's track this. Infrastructure is important. We got to get places. We need to clear that stuff off. Well, there's one vehicle that's good for that. So let's get us out a crane. I think this is the one to use here because we got... Looks like we got a good open road all the way there. Yeah, it's crazy how weird it is without Kelly. I didn't even think about it until... Yeah, until I got... What happened is I got to the base, and I was waiting for her voice, and it wasn't there, and I was like, oh. So I just kind of sat there for a minute. I don't know if I edited it out or not. I just kind of sat there for a minute, and then I realized, oh, I probably have objectives. Let's look at the objectives. Oh, I do. Because, yeah, just... It's kind of weird. Well, let's get this stuff swung out of the way. And then I guess we got to build a road across this. No, I don't know. Wait, I didn't look at it fully. Yeah, it's got the road symbol. Yeah, build road. Oh, it's a different place. Okay, build a road. Wow, like way over there. Okay, well, let's figure this out. Let's get this first. My guess is, however we get to that road that we need to build, it's probably across this because I mean it's like way far over there. But if it's part of this objective, then it's probably telling us that we need this clear to get there. You know, at this point, I kind of wish I had the bulldozer. I could just bulldoze this stuff out. But I think it would probably take more time to get that down here than it would to just swing the stuff out of the way with this. Let's see if I can just... If we can get the crane arm in the right spot, we can kind of just swing the stuff off pretty quick, I think. Okay, so that's not everything. There's something else. What else could there be? What else is in the area? Huh. You know, I'm hoping it's not something down at the bottom. Wait, there's a car over there. I don't see an arrow over it. Maybe we're not close enough. Yeah, there's a car over there. There we go. All right. Down with you, car. Okay, let's get this parked over out of the way, and I'm going to check the map, see where the road is we got to build. There's some actual road crafting to do now. Okay, so road is... Actually, no, this dam doesn't look in any way to be on the way to that road. Usually when you're doing something like this, it's because you got to make a route. Well, the road is... Okay, so the dam is here. I'm just trying to make sure this dam is not on the way to that road. I think we got to span that. That would be the easiest way, yeah. What's this? Oh, it's probably for the other objective. I think we're going to have to span that. It's a good thing we have just a vehicle to do it. Right? Let's park this, this out of the way somewhere. Alright, so I have used this guy a little bit on the test server. Haven't used it, well, yeah. Haven't used it in the live game, obviously, because it just came out yesterday, and... I didn't get as much time to play yesterday as I wanted to. So, this is my first time using the bridge. Well, again, I used it on the test server. This is my first time using it in my save game, if that even matters. Hopefully I'll reach that gap. One thing I found with using this is that those gaps, you know, it's like, oh, well, there's a gap. We can put a bridge over it. But I found that once you get down there with this thing, it suddenly is bigger than it looks. But this thing's got a pretty long bridge. Let's see, where are we going? Right behind us. Okay. This way here. On the map, it doesn't look that big. When we get here in person, well, now, what are the controls for this thing? Now, is this going to span? Yes. We have to back up a little bit. You got room? Oh, yeah. In fact, I think we can maybe back up more. This is probably fine. Let's see here. Let's pull this back in. Alright, those control hints, those are... I find those very, very annoying. They're so huge. Literally covering up my vehicle. That's why I run with those things off. Alright. Let's see. Whoa, this thing's not very good at crossing its own bridge. Well, I have used these bridges, but not over an actual gap like that. I was just kind of using them to try out the bridge. It's a little scary when you actually got a big drop off there. All right, so let's park this guy here. We got a way to get down here now. We're gonna have to get our stuff down here. Here, let's hop in the scout vehicle and go check this out. We could build a... Well, actually, I'm not sure. Can we build a bridge yet? I wanted to use the cool new vehicle. No, we can't build bridges yet. I wanted to use the cool new vehicle, but I guess that's what we had to do. Yeah, so like, for instance, now maybe there's another way, okay? So maybe there's another way to get over here, but that's the thing. So if I wanted to use the new options released with this expansion, I'd have to start a new game. I start a new game, I can't buy that bridge layer right off the bat, you know? Yeah, it seems to me you kind of can't really play this new content on a new game. So to get there... Yeah, I guess we're going to have to... So I guess we have this new system here. I noticed this on the test server. I forgot to mention this in yesterday's video. There's now a... Yes, it puts a route in between these. I should have mentioned this. It puts a route in between these now. Like this. And as you cross through them, I don't know if you guys noticed, but they disappear at a racism. I should have mentioned that in yesterday's video. I don't ever script my videos, and sometimes I forget to say stuff. Yeah, so this is really cool the way it does this now. These marks now disappear when you drive through them. So you'd have to use the custom ones to be permanent, but I think that's fine. It's like, okay, well, that's cool. You know, if I want permanent marks, I can still get permanent marks. Yeah, I should probably make like I should make a video like about some of the features that they didn't talk about or announce or whatever. Like maybe they announced this somewhere, but I didn't see anything about this. This is one of those things I just kind of figured out by playing. Like when you start a route now and it shows you the vehicle that's going to run the route, little things like that. Things they didn't mention, but little touches that they did add. So we definitely got a ways to transport our vehicles, and we have no service tokens. Yeah, I'm going to see about... I'm going to check, like, objectives and see if there's any way we can get service tokens. If not, we're going to have to truck our vehicles out here. You know, our road-making vehicles. I just want to get out to the road and see what we're working with. I want to make sure that the road doesn't go through, like, a forest or have rocks you have to clear or who knows what. Sometimes... It's like build this road here, and then you get the vehicles out there, and you have to knock down a bunch of trees or something. Ooh, this is pretty rough. Yep, we got some rocks to move. Are these here? Yes, these here are grabbable. I'm not going to move. It'd be too hard to... It would be too cumbersome to tow them out of the way with the truck, but knowing that they're grabbable means that we can come down here with the crane and clear them out, you know. Those are grabbable. We got a truck and a hole. Oh, wow, we got to build a road over this. How's our quarry coverage? That's a valid question. Yeah, luckily they hooked us up with quarry coverage. This is the most difficult terrain I've ever had to build a road over so far. Yeah, there's no place in the game where you have to... no. There's one road in Kernel you have to build, and I think you have to build it like there's like a river or something. You basically have to pour over, but nothing like this. Alright. Yeah, it's really not too bad, though. We just need a crane or something to get the rocks out of the way. See if any of these award service tokens. Yeah, this one actually, right here, this does. Yep. That is, I feel super smart. Because I looked for that. All right. Where do we deliver this to? Over there? Oh, on the other side of the bridge? Huh. Oh, that's cute. You want this for the service tokens, but you have to... Well, that's okay. We'll get it over there. Oh, yeah. Oh, we'll get it over there. It's either, yeah, so it's either build the road so we can do this, or do this so we can build the road. Because here's the thing, if we can't get this through that road section, which I'll find a way. Yeah, that's the thing, I'll find a way. Then we'll just bring the crane over here and just lift it through the rubble. I've done that a few times with these route vehicles, right? Just lift it through the rubble. All right, we're about to see how capable this truck is. I don't know if this van can make it through this. Well, you know, we need a crane out here anyway to move those rocks. Let's get our scout vehicle back. Got an idea here. Look at this. You don't even have to put on towing mode. It just pulls that thing out like a toy. I didn't even have to put it in towing mode. Okay, I know just the vehicle to get for this. Alright, right here is our answer. We're just going to use this guy. I like to try to do things with, you know, I like to try to use different solutions. I have not yet used this truck for anything. I mean, it's not been in the game that long, but I haven't yet used it because, well, partially because there's so many different ways to do things. In the past, I would have grabbed this van here with a crane and just used a crane to lift it over this. So this time I decided, hey, let's, instead of crane, let's use a new truck that I haven't used before. So here we go. Let's get this guy on here. That's good enough. Let's hop back in our links. Let's see, strap cargo. But in my head, this worked pretty good. Yeah, it did until I saw that this could easily tip over. Like, how is this not going to tip over? It's seeming like a really dumb idea now. Okay, we want to stay up over this way. Yeah, I think I should have got the crane. Well, that's okay. This is, there we go. I got through that. It took a second of spinning my tires, but yeah, so that trailer is not as tippy as it looks. It looks like it'd tip right over, but nah, I held that van through all of that. That was definitely not the way to do that. I should have gotten a crane, but yeah, we got through it. All right, we are taking this guy over here. Yeah, so I definitely should have used a crane. I may have used this truck for something. I may have used it for something, but you know, there's other trailers. There's other trailers in the game. Where are we going exactly? Okay, yeah, we're going around this. There's other trailers we could use. Of course, by this time I could have had the van under its own power, but I'm still driving it with the trailer. It's fine. There we go. All right, sweet. Now we got 10 service tokens. Now, oh, repair steel beams facility. That's another road. Well, now we can bring our trucks out to the thing. All right, so out here, the first thing we want out here is, okay, so we're going to need our mobile base to call out vehicles. But first, I say, why don't we drive the crane out here? Let's try to conserve service tokens. right? I'm just going to use the service tokens for the stuff that we need. We can drive the crane out there. It'll take a second, but, you know, no need to spend a token if we don't have to. Now, one thing I found crossing this bridge with that trailered truck, you got to be really careful crossing these. If this thing loses a wheel in between that ramp, yeah, well, then we'll have to call it back. Yeah, because even the Lynx, when I drove that Lynx with a trailer over this, I carelessly got one of its tires stuck in there, and even it couldn't get out of it. So this thing definitely, we got to keep this perfectly centered. Whoa. There we go. Okay. Well, you know how the vehicles can kind of be a little swervy sometimes. Yeah, that was a little hairy. But this thing should make it to the road construction just fine. All it's between here and there is a little mud. Alright, so we've got this guy out here. From what I saw, we can use this to move all the rocks that we need to move. But we may or may not need it. Let's park it over here. It's out here. Well, we've got to have the bulldozer out anyway, and the bulldozer may be able to take care of some of those. We got to have the bulldozer out here, obviously, because we have to make a road. So, next thing, I'm going to go grab... does it matter which one? You know, I think I'm going to bring out the Stanek. I'm not going to bring the mobile base. I think I'm going to bring out the Stanek. You know why? Because it's more maneuverable, and we don't have any, well, we don't have any base resources, so we don't need to access any resources. So, yeah, I never thought about it that way. That Warden mobile base is, I mean, yeah, it's really a slug. This thing's a lot better at moving around. I'm always in the mindset of just, it's so easy to just use the best available vehicle, use the high-end vehicles, but, you know, this thing might be faster. It could be. It's definitely more maneuverable. However, getting across this is going to be hairy. This thing's not that wide. Ooh, I feel like I was barely straddling that center bit there. All right, that took a minute, but not really. There was no issues at all getting this out here. All right, so let's call vehicles. What do we want? Well, we want the good ones, right? The good shiny ones. Yeah. That's them. Boom. All right, ready to build road. This backed out of here. Yeah, this was definitely the one to take. No need to call in the Warden. Is that what it's called, right? The Warden mobile base? No need to call it in if we don't need to use its base functions. Let's see if we can move some of these rocks with the blade first. Oh, this is pretty bad road here. This is a really bad road. Yeah, I almost wonder if... Yeah, we're going to have to pour this carefully. Well, normally I would get in the dump truck and just have the AI send it. But I'm just looking at it, this terrain is pretty bad. I'm not sure I trust the AI. You know what would happen? It would hit a place like this right here, and the truck would just, I don't know, start turning in circles, get hung up, something stupid. Yeah, I think we're going to have to manually drive the truck through here. Let's get these. Actually, those rocks are pushed off enough. Yeah, those rocks are pushed off enough because when I come through here, let me pull this blade up. When I come through here with the sand and dump the sand, it'll push those rocks away. We just have to get them out of the, technically just out of the orange area. Actually, yeah, you know what? If we just dump sand there, it's going to do something with those rocks. Might make them easier to... Here, let's find out. Let's find out. If I just dump sand down all over this mess, something will happen. Yeah, it'll do something. Just dump a bunch of sand here. It'll push all this stuff. There we go. Yeah, it did something. Let's fill it up again, and we'll just keep doing that. See if I can get this to... Hey, if anything goes wrong, we've already got the heavy crane down here. We've already got the heavy crane. move everything using the power of sand. Let's see if we can rotate this like over here. Haha, watch this. And then we'll just dump it here. There we go. Just dump it out of the way like that. Push these rocks out of the way. Nope. You know, I think we might be able to... I'm going to pour a little more sand here, and I think we might be able to bring the bulldozer through if we just get these... I can get this positioned like here. Ah, we might be able to bring the bulldozer through this now. I got the... Look at this. I got the dump truck stuck in a... Oh, that's hilarious. I think we can dump our way out of this. Come on. Yeah, that works. I didn't intend... I wasn't going to put sand there, but I had to dump my way out of it. You know, yeah, when in doubt, more sand, I guess, in this case, right? When in doubt, more sand. So the road goes up there a little bit. I think it'll be fine. I think this is going to be a cool road. Yeah, I think this is going to be a really cool road here. Yeah, this stuff definitely... The difficulty definitely escalates when you get on these DLC maps, which is good. The DLC maps should, I think... Yeah, it should be as hard or harder than Kernel. But yeah, it goes back to the thing of... That means you can't use the increased difficulty options, though, without playing through the entire game. Which, I think they'll fix it. I think they'll make it so you can turn on the difficulties. And I don't say that because I have any kind of inside knowledge or anything like that. I don't know what they were thinking not letting us do that in the first place. I think they'll quickly see it and be like, oh, we need to let these people do this or they're going to stop playing our game. I'm going to play through the game again anyway, probably, because making videos here for you guys and everything like that, you know, I'll start a new game to do that. The only reason I haven't started a new game yet is because, well, I got to do, I want to do this stuff here. Okay, can I get my blade down now? There we go. Now let's see how this smooths out here. Let's see how this smooths out. Those rocks might be in such a way now that I can just kind of push them out of the way. Not have to use the crane. Here, let's push these guys off this way. There we go. Yeah, once you get this big hump of sand here, they just kind of roll off to the side a little bit. Come on, push it, push it, push it. There we go. Yeah, not bad at all, actually. You know, this road's coming along pretty good, methinks. Yeah, I'm going to run up and down this a few times. Of course, we need to dump a lot more sand. Yeah, we definitely need to lay down more sand. But this all looks pretty good. Let me pull my blade up. Let's move this rock. Actually, you know what? Screw that rock. The force of the sand will move that rock there, I think. All right, let's get the dump truck back. We're gonna dump some more sand along this. Yeah, but this is definitely kind of like not a road where you could have the AI dump this for you. I mean, maybe, but I don't know. I've seen some pretty simple roads where the AI failed trying to drive across, you know, a truck down the thing. So, like, I had the AI fail doing that on an early map, Incommunicado. Yeah, literally the first road you build in Incommunicado, which goes to that steel beams facility across that swamp, I had the AI fail just trying to drive the dump truck through that. Sorry, not the first route you do there, it's the first road that you build, obviously, is what I meant. Up a little sand here. Should be good there. We'll see how that smooths out. Let's see what we got up here. Look at that. Sun's coming out. It's turning into a beautiful day. Yeah, piece of cake. All right, that is yellow all the way. Let's get this guy up here out of the way. Let's park him over here. All right, where's our dozer? We're gonna see how this looks. Is that the... Nope, that's the... Where did I park the darn... Ah, there it is. Is it just me? I keep noticing this, but maybe it's just me. Does the sand look different? This sand, it looks different. It looks like wet sand. It looks like, well, like when I was a kid playing in the sandbox and the sand gets wet, you know. And unfortunately, that's my only... I live about 1,500 miles from the nearest beach, so my only really experience with sand when I think of a kid playing in the sandbox. The point is, it looks like wet sand. Yeah, I was thinking of that, and I was like, wow, I have to draw on some early memories to remember sand. Yeah, kind of. But anyway, the point is, yeah, it looks like wet sand. I would think that I've seen the sand texture in this game enough to notice when it looks different, and it seems to me it looks different here. Maybe it's just the lighting here, maybe it's my imagination, maybe it's nothing. Well, that's pretty good. I'm going to make another trip up and down this maybe, just for, you know, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter because it's an automated road, which will auto-complete. But, well, it'll auto-complete the road itself, but the elevation changes, I wouldn't mind. I don't know if it will that or not. Want to make sure it's nice and, yeah, it looks smooth. Well, so we'll finish this run here. Then we'll pour the, then we'll do the asphalt. Yeah, look at this. Remember how this was just a few minutes ago. Utterly impassable. Look at us now. This is good stuff here. Alright, so here's what we're going to do to finish this. We're going to grab our paver. Paver. Here it is. And we're going to send the paver. Then we're going to go ahead and we're going to get in this guy. I've never done this. Whenever I send the vehicles, I always spectate. This time, I've actually just never done it this way. It doesn't matter, but I've never done it this way as it happens. So yeah, we sent the paver, and then we're just going to follow him with this to get done faster. I don't know why I never did like this, but I never have. I guess I always just like spectating them. Just me, or is that green brighter? I think that green's brighter. I'm noticing a lot of things, but I think I'm right. I've played the game enough. I think I would notice when one thing's different. Well, crud. Let's see. He's not budging that rock. You know, the those side bits there that on the paver that got hung up on that rock just now, those don't have collision. They never had collision in the game. Yeah, you see that. Unless they... So either they fixed that or something, but those never had collision. Like, you can drive down the road and those... They'll pass right through telephone poles and everything. Maybe they fixed that. Man, he's having some crazy problems where I didn't expect there to be problems. Yeah, this green looks brighter. Hurting my eyes. Oh, Jesus, man, this guy's a retard. Are you serious? Come on, man. What's he even hung up on this time? Well, to be fair, those things get hung up on a fair amount of stuff. Yeah, here, I'm gonna darn it, I'm gonna take over control myself. Road planning requests. By the time I can get the right thing to cancel it. Cancel the road. Oh, Jesus, and so it oh, man. I should have known where to put him at the end. Okay, good. This end. All right, let's just do it ourselves. Yeah, do it ourselves. So, previously, when you had these things extended, it didn't have any collision. Well, let's see. I always thought that was weird and unimmersive. Well, it does now, yeah. I just moved that rock out of the way. Alright. There we go. See, computer? Computer, see? It wasn't that hard. You could have done that yourself. Let's move this guy. Who cares? Let's just move him anywhere out of the way of the road. There we go. Alright, clear away across the dam. Even though this is nowhere near the dam, this is literally in the opposite direction, right? Yeah. Let's see here. And it's so weird. We don't have Kelly popping up to tell us what the next objective is. People said it was weird. I didn't really think about it until you play. And then you're like, oh, wow, it is weird. It is. All right, guys. The first step's done here on Washout. Undoubtedly, you know, this is the easy stuff. I look forward to seeing what they can throw at us. That went pretty good. But, you know, if I didn't have the experience that I have at the game, I think that would have been really hard. You know, like, a lot of the reason that was easy is because we knew the things to do. You know, you use the vehicles enough and you kind of learn what vehicle to use where. But that was cool. I look forward to playing some more here. There's a lot more stuff I want to do. There was a video I want to do, actually. Well, I need to find that rusty scout. Yeah, because I was going to do I want to do... Okay, so we got that off-road track built that we built like last video or a couple videos ago, right? We built that off-road track on Deluge. Well, I built it to test cargo trucks. Well, technically I built it for anything, but cargo trucks, I guess, was the thing. But it would be excellent to take the Lynx versus the Mutt, the two TUZ-119 Scout vehicles versus each other on a timed lap around the test track. I thought that'd be cool, but then I realized we got to unlock that thing first. So it's probably going to unlock in, I don't know, one of these maps. So we'll be playing some more here. I'll catch you guys next time. Thanks for following along. Tell me what you think in the comments down below. What's your experience with the new DLC, this and that, and yeah. Thanks for watching the video all the way through to the end, guys. I always read the comments, so absolutely tell me anything you think down below. I'll catch you guys tomorrow. Maybe even today. We'll see. I got a farming simulator video coming up. I'll see you guys next time. Peace out.